Going live, 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 going live. Hey, everybody! Going live, going live, going live. Can you tell that I just had some wine? Yep. Going live, going live. All right. I'm just doing a couple of things here. Da, 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 da. Let's see, who could I do this for? What a beautiful world. Hello, everybody. What's happening? Trying to wave at all of you. Welcome to a amazing and fun episode of Breaking Bread with Corey, also known as Breaking Bread with Val Voyage on the podcast on Spotify. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your support. I cannot say it enough. I've gotten so many people reach out to me in just the last few days, and it's been great hearing the support. And it excites me. It shows that we are community. We are supporting one another, and that's such a great thing. And we have such an amazing show for you. And we have such an amazing week of women ambassadors, strong, powerful women ambassadors to this industry. And I am just completely overwhelmed every time I see their names or look at who is going to be coming on. I am just, this is awesome. This is awesome, and you should be all stoked too. I'm just like, I'm ready to go. So tonight, before we kick things off with our special guest, I don't know if some of you tuned in to. I'm doing a segment prior to each interview called Less Than Five. It's a quick wine pairing, less than 5 minutes. It takes you less than 5 minutes using anything in your kitchen cabinet to your fridge. Lord knows we don't have steak, chicken, and fish a lot of times in our refrigerator. I don't. I have a lot of Panda Puffs and stuff from my kid. So, and you could also pair Panda Puffs with wine. There's no reason why you can't. But you got to see the pairing that I actually did. It was a fresh lentil salad on a romaine leaf. Fresh, delicious. Now that we're heading into spring and summer, and hopefully as everybody's getting vaccinated, we could all get together and gather slowly but surely and safely. And tonight I am pairing that fresh and delicious pairing with a really innovative and inspiring winemaker from California, Megan Bell. I'm going to be sharing the screen with her on Thursday, and this is her wines, Margin Wines, completely natural. And you can see, this is 100% Chenin Blanc, and you can see how natural it is, how it's got the little haze there. That is special, and it really makes Princess Leia look damn good. So, absolutely delicious wine, and I paired that with a fresh lentil salad, which I'm going to show you right now. And then we're going to kick off fresh lentil salad on romaine leaves. You can see right there, boom, boom, on romaine leaves. And I'll leave that recipe, or you can check out the recipe live on the IG live that I did, recorded just a few minutes prior to this interview. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring my special guest on. She is an amazing woman. I got to join in on her interview yesterday from just the spectator, the viewer, and what a delight. She has so much energy. You got to follow her. If you don't follow her now, it is a must. You must follow her. The Shannon Glover. I'm gonna bring her on. Let's see. Here we go. And she's just awesome. See if we can bring her on. I see you. I see you. I see. There you are. Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
How's it going?
It's
Good.
going.
Good. I'm excited. I, I
I am
I'm
too.
excited.
I was so excited all day. I was like, oh my God, I have several lives this week but this one was gonna be my favorite because I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to hang out with first of all, I
Yes.
love your
Yes.
Instagram name, Breaking Bread with Corey. That's brilliant. I love it.
You know, it's really about what we're doing. It's what I've witnessed as far as community, how everybody gets together, supports one another, talks about life, love, everything that's going on, and that's what it's about. It's about breaking bread with each other. That's the whole thing. And I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate you sharing your time and sharing your story with us.
Yes.
Like I said, I was so stoked on your interview yesterday.
Thank
That was such an amazing interview.
Yeah, they are a great wine company. I was really thankful to have them on. So yes, thank you for tuning in. But hey everybody.
What what are, what are you drinking tonight?
So I am actually carrying over because I could not finish the bottle last night, surprisingly. But I'm drinking Ten Roll Cellars their Sauvignon Blanc. It's a 2019. It's from El Dorado, California, and it's a part of their three-pack Sip with a Purpose wine where they paid homage to RBG. And so I brought the other bottle just so you
Mhm.
could see if you don't know who that is, but they have some really
Oh,
amazing wines, and this Sauvignon Blanc is really good. I've always loved Sauvignon Blancs, but I've never actually
right.
had one from California. I've always drinking the New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs, just
Really?
because, yeah, because you just they. I love them, and they're known for their Sauvignon Blanc, and but I'm surprised this one is
Right.
actually really good. So I'm loving it. I'm definitely gonna finish the bottle off tonight for sure.
I love California Sauvignon
Yeah,
Blancs. They really set the tone, really vivacious, really fruity. One of my other go-to Sauvignon Blancs, believe it or not, is Chilean Sauvignon Blancs.
really.
They really, yes, Chilean Sauvignon Blancs, they're kind of what I call the secret fishing hole. And inexpensive and damn good.
Yeah,
If you want to find something that is really inexpensive, and that's one thing about the Chilean and Argentinian market, a lot of the South American countries, they are very inexpensive, including, you got even some Spanish wines, but I'm talking about just Chile in general. Their wines are dynamic, what they're producing, and like I said, they just set a whole bar, and it's a quick balance between that old world gritty and earthiness to
yeah.
the new world fruity.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's it.
it's
That's the
it's it's really
exciting thing
cool.
about wine that I'm obsessed with is like, you can have a Sauvignon Blanc from California and then you have a Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand or wherever, and they're just, even though it's the same varietal, it just has so many different flavors. You just like never know what to expect, and that's like the fun part, like the guessing game of like, what is it going to taste the same? So I love that. I love that part about wine.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that's great about the wine industry right now. You have all these
Yeah.
interpretations. You could have a winery across the street from each other, and they could have two different styles.
Yes.
Completely different styles,
Yeah.
two different interpretations of one particular grape varietal. But yeah, it's an exciting time to be a part of it. Now, like I said, I really want everyone to hear your story. So introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are and what you're about.
Yeah, absolutely. I just went ahead and shared the live with a bunch of people, so hopefully they'll hop on too. But yeah, so hi everybody, I'm Dee Shannon. I am the face behind Live, Love, and Wine, which is my brand, and I pair the joys of life with wine because I feel like wine goes with everything. I'm all about just lifestyle and self care and motherhood and just really being a positive light in the world with so much going on. I think we need laughter and smiles more than anything because they're contagious. And so that's kind of what my page is about. I have a journey and goal and dream to own a wine shop and some other major wine businesses. And but for now, right now, is just building a community around what Live, Love, and Wine is about. And although it's a name, to me, it's a movement because my motto is like live life to the fullest, love yourself and others, and wine along the way. So to me, it's like a movement of a community that I want to grow, and then and have that support once I do open that wine shop one day. So yeah, and I offer wine tastings, and I just kind of put a humorous twist on wine and try to make it relatable because we've all just had some funny times with wine, and I just have a good time. So I make some funny content as well.
Yeah, I love you got to jump on her page. Some of some of the stuff that you came up with. I love the one where you're looking at the percentage of wine and you're
Oh
like,
yeah,
and you have the guy's voice. Like,
I love that one.
oh
That's a throwback. Yeah, I love that.
that I told my wife, I was like, you got to see this. This is classic. This is great.
What's funny about that
But
is we're
everything.
all guilty of it. Like, I don't care if you've been in
Yeah.
the industry for 30 plus years or you're just getting in the wine industry. You like at some point in your life, you brought a bottle of wine because it had a high percentage of ABV, no matter what. Like, just hands down. So I just try to make it relatable.
Yeah.
We've all been there, you know?
And your dancing is just amazing. I seriously, I gotta tell you, between my wife, and being in lockdown, we moved from one state to another. We really don't have a lot of resources. We don't have our family. All our family's back in California, and you guys, you ladies are my therapy. Seriously, to listen, even the subjects that you talk about, when you talk about your liquid therapy Sundays, if you're a guy, if you're a male, this is one thing that you should really listen to. You hear the woman's voice because it's real and it's powerful. Mm-hmm. And seriously, it's been great, and you do amazing things.
Thank you. And so yeah. I try, my hardest to stay as positive as possible. I mean, I'm human, so I have, things happen to me, and it's so funny because I look back at some of my pictures and like the captions that I've put on some of my pictures, and that, usually they have some quote on there to like make people happy and get them in a good mood. And I realized, I was like, a lot of times these quotes and captions are for me. Like I write them because they're great to like go back and see like what mood I was in at that time. And I just, like you said, it's powerful. Words are powerful. They can really do big things and make your spirit feel good. So that's really my goal, and sometimes I do have bad days, but I try to convey positivity because then it turns around and makes me feel good knowing that I uplifted somebody, even in, you just never know what people are going through. And like, we just need more positivity right now, especially when you're scrolling. Like, if I can just be that one photo or a funny reel that just made you laugh or give you a giggle, then I feel like my job is done because at least I made you laugh for a second, or those 15 seconds. So yeah, no, I appreciate that.
No, absolutely. Like, it's a powerful thing, especially now when we're going through all these things that you hear, and that's why so many of us turn to our wine, our our boozing,
Exactly.
We go to our wine, our spirits, it's just it's really important. But to have iconic figures, really out there sharing a great positive word. That is one of the most important things. Yeah. And the same journey that you're on with this, it's the same thing that I'm trying to do is as far as the support system, the positivity, how we can be in this industry and what we can do for one another right now. It's really about embracing everybody and celebrating. We forget that.
Yeah.
We a lot of us have forgotten that, and it's time to get back to that. And turn up the music and have a
Yes.
great time. You know,
I
that's what it's
agree.
about.
Yes, I
You know,
agree. I don't know if you know, but I broke my ankle back in October. And I broke it
good.
because I was trying to be a cool mom and I was can you hear me?
I think we lost your audio. Let me see.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Can you hear me now?
It's like very low.
Hmm. Can you hear me?
I can barely hear it. Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I can hear
Or am
you
I low?
clear. Maybe we should ask the people who if you're watching, do I sound can you not hear me or can you hear him? Because
Let me
I
see.
can hear you clearly.
You can hear me
Yeah.
clearly? Hmm. Let's see. I just want to make sure because I can barely hear you.
You want me to go out and come
Do you
back in?
want to try just resetting, going back out and coming back in?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You could hear us? You could hear me? Or you could hear both of
Yeah.
us? Okay, you can hear both of us. All right. Well, I could hear both of you clearly. Okay. Well,
Can you hear me?
sometimes
Do you want me to just go back out and try again just so you could hear me?
yeah, try that. Just try doing that and we'll see how it
Okay,
goes.
hold on. Okay.
Thank you everybody for all the feedback. We'll try this again. I just want to make sure that we have a clear signal. Let's see. Try that. Waiting. Okay, let's see. There we go. Let's see. Cancel. Let's try this. Invite to join. Edition. See if that.
Hey.
Okay. How does it? Are you
Yeah,
there?
can you hear me now?
Man. Well, they said they could hear us and you could hear me, but I could barely hear you. I don't know if it's. Let me see.
It might
I just
be
want to check my settings real quick, make sure everything is good.
if
Da, 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 da,
sometimes if you
da.
had a call come through, that kind of messes up your volume too.
When a call comes through, it
Yeah.
that's what just happened.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom, for
Thanks, Mom.
my mom just called me. She's probably like, I'm trying to get through. Why aren't you picking up the phone?
It sounds like everybody else can hear me, so maybe I'll just talk a little louder so you can make sure you can.
Yeah, it's like it's very faint, and let's see. Let me see if I could check my adjustments here. Feedback.
Thanks, Pam. My friend Pam is on. Thanks, Centrisa. Nicole.
Yeah.
Nicole said, "Damn, I can hear you both." Yeah, it seems like everybody else can hear us clearly. I don't know.
I can hear you both. Everybody's good. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Shoot.
You wanna try to play with the your settings while I talk to everybody?
Yeah, I'm trying to play with them right now. Let's
Okay.
see if.
Hey, Amira. Hey, gorgeous.
Settings.
Uh-oh, now Corey, it looks like you're going in and out now.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
You
Can
can
you hear
hear me
me?
now?
Yeah. Sometimes I have issues with my dad brain. I used to be a DJ back in the day, so I have problems with one ear. And back in the day when I used to scratch, do the backward scratch.
Man,
The
well,
back.
listen, at least you have an excuse. I just am hard of hearing, or selective hearing. I don't have a reason why.
So if thank you for everybody for be patient and joining us. And for those of you, if you can, I know we had this little break, but if you can, if you want to invite anybody, go ahead and hit that little plane button and invite the first 5 people if you can. Let's all break bread together. I know it's Monday and some of us dread Mondays, but let's make Monday a good day, especially with the Shannon. She's awesome. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you was, I love your motto on your page. The love life, love hard, or is it live life, love hard, and wine along the way? Where did you get that inspiration for those words? That is poetic right there. It's some of the best poetry right there.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so actually before Live, Love, and Wine, I was my business name was Wineworks, and my tagline was "When Sip Happens, Wineworks," and it just wasn't resonating with me all the way. It was catchy and fun, but it wasn't in the moment of my life at that time. It just wasn't resonating with me strongly, and so I just, I was really going through like a spiritual journey, and like just, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I have goals and dreams, and I wanted something that covered the basis of all things in my life and what I'm trying to accomplish and what I want to do and what I'm trying to be for other people. And so I
Right.
came up with Live, Love. I used to love the phrase live, love, and laugh. And everywhere I would go, I would see that phrase, and I was like, it just always like was one of those phrases like, oh, I just love that. And I have like a lot of frames and pictures and stuff like that that have that saying live, love, and laugh. And so it hit me one day, and I was like, live, love, and wine. That's everything I am. Like I truly try to live life to the fullest as best as I can with what I have. I am all about self-care, self-love, soul-care. I'm all about loving people and showing people kindness, and positivity. And I love wine. So that was a no-brainer.
That's the best thing.
That was
Oh
a
yeah.
no-brainer. But, I feel like I feel like it just covered everything. And like I said, it became, at first it was just a name. And then it became, to me, it feels like a movement. It's supposed to be an uplifting thing. When you see the live, love, and laugh phrase, like obviously that's a lifestyle. Like you want to live life, love, and laugh and have a good time. And so that's what I wanted to
Right.
convey with my message about just living your life the way we should, being in the present moment as much as you can, and being appreciative for what you have, and knowing that that's plenty enough to be able to do what you want to do. And as far as loving yourself is so important, especially as a mom and a woman. A lot of times women who get married and they have children, they forget about who they were before those titles. And although those are amazing titles and we carry those very well with crowns on our head, we have to remember that we were a person before all of that. And so that is my journey, learning, remembering the things that I like to do. And so that's why I always push self-care for, I don't care who you are, how old you are, man, woman, whatever. Like self-care is important, and it's not selfish. And I'm sure some of the people who are on here that do follow me, they've heard me say this phrase before, and I saw this quote and I absolutely am obsessed with it. And it says, self-care is not saying me first, it's saying me too. And that is something that I just push so hard. I'm like, it is okay to say, I love myself and I want to do something for myself. And it's not saying I'm selfish. It's just saying I care about myself and I want to do something for me too, because I can't fill anybody else's cup or glass if my glass isn't full yet. so,
Right.
so,
Right.
that's the love part of my phrase is probably one of my favorite, the favorite word. Like that's the one that I hold close to my heart. Although I love wine and I love being adventurous and living life to the fullest, the love part is something that I'm currently, that's the moment I'm in right now in my life, is just making sure that I take care of myself and making sure that my cup is full so that I can pour into others the best way I can, in that moment. So yeah, that's how that name kind of came up about, and it's just ran with it, and I've stuck with it, and it seems to resonate with a lot of people, and they can have fun with it, and it just ties into everything that I do, in my regular life. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I think, how you say about self-care, I think a lot of us discovered that just this past year,
Yes.
that we really found out about ourselves. We got reacquainted with ourselves,
We had no
and our
choice.
relationship. Oh yeah, and it has been amazing to see, and having to turn the dial on the mentality and go, oh yeah, really kind of reconnect with that, that mentally, and I see that when, from when we started with the lockdown, and then, to where we are now, and looking at not just what my wife, my son, he's almost 3, and seeing what he is going through, um, and it's crazy, but we all need that. We got to look at each other and support that
Yeah.
self-care. It is
Yeah.
important. It's important for us to go, okay, I need to take care of
I need to
this.
take a
I need to
breather.
do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to reconnect. And sometimes my wife, she works early mornings, and that's why we work. We don't have a lot of resources, so she'll work in the morning, and then I'll go to work when she gets home, and she'll take care of the kid, because of our resources
Yeah.
and finances and all this. But I know when she says, if I have a day off and she gets home and she's like, I'm gonna go for my walk,
Yeah.
and I won't see her for a couple hours, and I'm like, where'd you go? Like, how? I did like a 6 miler, and I'm like, what?
That's her safe. That's her
Okay,
safe word right
but
there. I'm going for a walk, and you know what
yeah,
that means.
yeah. Absolutely. I know, it's like, okay, I need to put on Cars on loop for another 2 or 3 hours to take
Right.
care of the kids.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's,
But
like the mental, you hit the nail on the head when you said, like, the mental state for a lot of people, and like you said, a lot of us haven't realized or didn't have to face ourselves until we had to sit with ourselves during this time, right? So we've had no
absolutely.
choice but to figure out, what the hell do I like to do when there's nothing to do? Like, you know what I mean? And
Right.
finding that space, and when I talk about self-care, it's a mental aspect too. Like, mental health is very important. And I, a lot of times women, and I'm just speaking on women just because I am one, and I know the feeling,
Oh yeah.
at a certain point, especially when you have kids. I had a full-time job before COVID. I had to make the decision in our household. I was the one to end up staying home with the kids, and that was very hard for me because I'm very motivated. I'm very active. I like to see people, and I was very independent before I met my husband. And, so it just was very tough, and that could be very hard on a person. And so,
Right.
self-care didn't hit third gear until COVID for me. And, but even outside of COVID, like, I wouldn't stop doing those things for myself, that I do now, whether it's just reading a book or listening to music. And that's the other thing that people confuse self-care about, is they think that self-care has to be going to get your nails done, or going to the spa, or
Right.
or getting a haircut. Like, that's not what self-care is. What makes you feel good. It's what makes you feel.
Right.
If that's sitting down for 30 minutes on your patio with a glass of wine and listening to music, that's self-care. If that's what you like to
Absolutely.
do.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
being home too with the kids. My I have three. I have 13, 12, and 2. And so there's never a dull moment. And
Oh, I bet. I bet.
it's my oldest, she's a girl, and then my 2 boys. And so my oldest son has Tourette's. He's very active, very high wire, 2-year-old is just naturally active. And then, as a young teenager girl, she's going through her own things too. So, it's like you want to be there for them at all times, but then you have to remember yourself, like, okay, I got to take a second to breathe. And it's just been a lot on a lot of people with COVID going on. And I just encourage anybody, even if it's for 5 minutes, to just say and breathe to yourself. Like meditation is something I just found this year wholeheartedly and like stuck with it. But I even teach my kids, like, if you're angry or upset or you need some time out, like I try to teach them the breathing exercises. Like, it's self-care. I can talk about that all day, but it's important. It's important.
I love it.
It's all in a nutshell. At the end of the day, just remember that it's important to take time out for yourself. That's one of my main things that I want to say. So
I love that. And I one of the key things that I want to say before we jump off the subject, because I know there's a lot that we have to talk about, but one of the things that I think is most important is the support for self-care. Having, whether it's your partner, significant other, your family members, it's that support to say, he or she needs this. We support that. We embrace that. We, they need to do that. And that's an important thing. And that's the one thing that I really have driven into my mental state is, man, I got to support this because I know my wife, she needs it. My son needs it. I need it. We all need it. And so we got to really create the support system to help get us through this, and so I totally dig it. I appreciate it. And that's what I love about the Liquid Therapy Sundays is, everything that you bring up on it, and it is so important. And is there anything that you want to talk about just a little bit more about Liquid Therapy Sundays?
Yeah, so Liquid Therapy Sundays is my weekly show. I do every Sunday at 8:00 on my page. And it's really, the idea just came up, was Sundays are my day to relax. Like, it's my self-care day, right? So like I do face masks with my daughter and my son sometimes. And it's like my relaxing day right before the start of the week, right? And so I just came up with the idea, like, it would be really cool to not only be able to highlight, different guests and a different wine and a new topic, but just a day to get together. Like, obviously that should be the day that you're relaxing and just chilling out and preparing for your new week. Right. So the Liquid Therapy name is like, okay, grab a glass of wine, sit on your couch, and, like you would normally watch TV, but you're watching Liquid Therapy Sunday. Get to know a new wine, get to know a new winemaker, get to know a new business, or talk about something that may have been on your mind. Like, I've talked about women supporting women. I've talked about what's holding you back from your dreams. I've talked about aromatherapy. I mean, I've talked about all kinds of things. Like, there's no boundaries about the topics that I talk about on Liquid Therapy, but it's because it's literally grab a glass of wine, come and sit down, get some therapy, come and, but come and, see the same people in the comments and talk with them and communicate, come see and talk about your week. Like, I encourage people to comment and tell me if their week was good. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. What was your high points, your low points? It's important that we talk about those things out loud, and it makes you feel good. So the whole point of Liquid Therapy is you had a long week, and now we've reached your favorite day of that week, the Sunday, and we're ready for a new week. We're going to walk into a new week with a good mindset. I do a toast at the end of the night every single time. And it usually pertains or has something to do with what we talked about, or relates to that. And, just to try to make you start. Usually my show is at 8 and usually ends within an hour. So it's 9. Usually most people are going to sleep within the hour after that. So I want to be like that positive thing that is the last thing on your mind. So when you go to bed, you're feeling good and you're waking up with a great start. So yeah, if you guys can tune in to Liquid Therapy Sunday, it's every Sunday, 8:00 on my page at Live, Love, and Wine.
8 o'clock a.m. or p.m. You said p.m., right? Correct?
Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
8 p.m. Eastern time. I think everybody's like all jacked up with the time change.
Oh my God. Listen,
Oh
don't even get
man,
me
what a
started on it.
crazy.
It is messing me up. It is
and
totally messing me
and
up.
and don't,
The daytime, like yesterday when it was I had my therapy Sunday show, I was like, it was still daylight and I was like, holy crap, it's 7 o'clock already and I'm not even ready. Like, let me get myself together. Like, it threw me off, but
yeah,
that's what it is. We got to get it together.
it it's all good. Hey, and if you're just joining us, or if you've been with us from the beginning and you want to ask either Shannon or I any questions, go ahead. Don't leave them in the comment box. Don't forget to throw them in that little bubble with a question mark. We love to hear any questions that you have. That's what it's about. It's about breaking bread, talking,
Yeah.
sharing life, love, and wine. So go ahead and throw it there. Um, I want to talk about your love for wine. Where did that come from? What inspired you to get into wine?
Oh man. Wine. So wine
What was that
started.
moment?
Yeah, wine started for me. Oh man. So wine started for me back when I was a server for Ruth Chris Steakhouse. I was in college, finishing up college, and I had worked my way up to server, and I wanted to. They made us do tastings, wine tastings, so we knew what to pair wine with, and with what foods. And I was just like, okay. At the time, I was like, free drinks, whatever. Like, let's go for it. I wasn't thinking about all that, but the person that was there that was telling us about the wines and all the geography and like the history, it like caught my interest and I was like, this is really cool, and so I kind of dove in a little bit deeper, and I just kind of hit the ground running from that, and I ended up working for a company, doing wine tastings for them and learning about wine and taking advantage of that, and I would make a little profit off of it, of course. And that's when it just like hit me that I was like, I can do this on my own. Like, I can build my knowledge and I can build a business around it and go from there. And it just, I did that. I stopped working for that company, and that's when my original name, which was Wine Works, started, and I was doing in-home wine tastings, and that was in my hometown in Greenville, South Carolina, and which is about 6 hours away from where I'm at now. And then I moved here to Tallahassee, Florida, with my husband, and I kind of had to start from the ground up again and build a clientele base and get to know people. And then COVID hit, and I had to like pivot all of a sudden. But for me it was more of a eye-opening experience, because it was like, okay, what is it that you really want to do? And my dream is really to own a wine shop, own a wine truck, and a mobile business, and be that light in the community. Like, I want to be that person that people look to and come to. Like, they want to be around me because it's contagious. They want to come back and see what it is that I'm doing, because they feel it makes them feel good no matter what. So yeah, that was kind of where that was what catapulted me to do business. But I will say, I used to think Arbor Mist was like good ass wine, and it's I've learned that it's not. Yeah, I mean, that was my college days, where my friends, we were young and dumb, and we just each bought our own bottle of Arbor Mist, and we just popped that thing open. It was like, you drink your bottle, I'm drinking my bottle, and we just had a great time. I was like, yes, I'm drinking Arbor Mist. Thought I was doing something, but
We all have to start somewhere, right?
right,
We all have to
exactly.
start somewhere.
Exactly. I mean, that's just when what is it? Oh my God, what was the alcohol? Mad Dog 2020. I know. Yes, if you, I may be telling my age, but Mad Dog 2020, like that was a starter too.
We always talk about that, like when we were in high school, like Schlitz malt liquor or Old English
Exactly.
800 or Strawberry Hill, all that stuff. It's like, really, did we really drink all that
I know.
stuff?
I still question. Do you remember Four Lokos?
Four
Four
Locos,
Lokos
no.
were like these big cans that were just, they ended up taking them off the market, I believe, because they were like so dangerous. But yeah, like that was like a pre-game drink, and we were just like, yeah, let me get a Four Loko so I don't have to pay for drinks at the club. Some people remember
was it around the time
that was a
of
bad choice.
Was it around the time of like Zima?
I don't even know. All I know is that it did the job, and it probably did some damage to my liver, but it is what it is now.
Oh man, that just gives me a headache thinking about
it. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
So how is the wine scene? Well, I know you probably haven't gotten a full grip on it, but how is the wine scene in Florida? I mean, what's coming out of there? What have you seen is the hot trend as far as wines go?
I'm it'll be 3 years since I moved to Tallahassee, so I'm still getting familiar with just the things here. I will say that I found a really, I'm like 15 minutes away from the borderline of Georgia. So, you know, Georgia's known for their muscadine wine, which is not a favorite, but for me, but there is a tasting room there that's called Farmer's Daughter Vineyard, and they're like they make hybrid wines that are really, really great. So not a lot of local wines. I mean, if you really want to get to a winery, I have to do a little driving up into Georgia. You know, Florida does not have a ton of wineries, but I mean, I would say that the wine scene is pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of different there's about 3 different wine shops here. There's a lot of different bars that offer wine tastings and things like that. So there's a little bit of opportunities for people to get familiar with wine and you know, dive into that market. But I don't feel like there's enough of what can I say? I don't feel like it's new wine friendly, if that makes sense. Like if you're not familiar with wine, there's not like an opportunity to feel comfortable going into that setting where you can, you know, if you're not familiar and you're new to wine, but you want to know more about it, there's not really a huge setting for it to here at least here in Tallahassee. You know, Tallahassee is a smaller town. We have Florida State University here. There's FAMU here. So it's definitely a college town. We're the capital of Florida, so you know there's just a lot going on here. But it's not. I feel like they need to open up more to being more wine friendly to people who are new to wine.
Wine friendly,
and that's kind of like what I try to bring as much as possible. And you know, once I am able to open up that wine shop, that I can bring that kind of community where you just can feel comfortable coming into my space and knowing, even though I don't know anything about these wines on this shelf, that I'm going to learn something and I'm going to leave here with something good. And if I don't like it, it's okay, because I'm going to come back and try something different. So that's kind of where I'm at as far as knowing what there is around here.
So a quick question. When you get your wine truck,
yes,
are you going to carry 4 Lokos?
No, absolutely not. that is a lawsuit waiting to happen.
You gotta do that. You gotta have 4 Lokos, Zima, Strawberry Hill, Arbor Mist, all those like front and center, top shelf. Those are gotta be your benchmark wines and
listen,
great drinks right there.
I might try to make it fancy and call it something different and be like, at your risk only if you want to try. If you want to try, but no.
That is the most interesting thing. Now, what is it you found as far as, is it going to be hard to do a wine truck? Because I think like wine trucks, you know, do you have to have a special permit when you do the wine truck because you're selling alcohol, or how does that go? And I would be like, if it was me, it'd be like the ice cream man for me. I'd be running after that truck.
Listen,
You guys, that would be
Corey.
my motivation.
Yes, Corey, you are onto something. That's literally, I'm going to be your wine lady. Okay. Just like you hear the ice cream truck sound when it comes around,
I love
the
that.
kids come running. No, the adults will come running out the house because they'll be like, oh, it's DeShannon. She's coming. I need to come out. It's like, where's my dollar bills at? Yeah, I mean, you know, with anything that deals with liquor, you have the laws, unfortunately. You got to do it the right way. So I mean, all of that comes with a lot of research, a lot of knowledge, and I mean, I still have question marks on my papers, you know, that I've written things down. But you know, I
Right.
mean, it just comes with, it's going to come with diligence and just being committed, and I know it's going to
Right.
happen. I've talked about this dream for a very long time, and I used to be very quiet about it because I was so scared about somebody else taking the idea or whatever. But you know, at this point, I'm like, whatever, like it's going to happen for me because that's what I want. If somebody else does it
Right.
before me, that's great for them. It was meant for them to do it at that time. You know, what's for me is for me, and it's going to
Right.
happen when it's supposed to happen. And I just, you know, I just got to stay diligent and stay committed and stay positive that it's going to happen when it's going to happen. And I'm manifesting it right now as I speak. Like, I'll be able to
Right.
look back at this live and be like, holy crap, I remember when I was talking to Corey and about my dream, and it happened. And here we are. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, one thing I do would, if I can just give you some advice,
mm-hmm.
is maybe key in on like suburbs, like family neighborhoods that, like, especially around vacation times,
Yeah.
when you know parents are going to have their kids home and they're going to try to escape sanity.
Yes.
You know, this is the great.
Yes. This would
You
have
hit
been
those
the
neighborhoods,
perfect time to
ring
be
the
able to come
bell.
out. Like COVID, I probably would be a millionaire by right now if I would have came out.
Absolutely.
Just strolling down the streets like,
Absolutely.
I'm here, y'all. They would have been coming. They would have ran out the house.
Oh man. Well, you know, we are going to be winding it down. I hate to say those words. We are going to be winding it down. We have a little bit more time left, but I do want to ask you the question. You know, we are in the time of really, like, you know, as we started the show, you know, supporting. It's a community. We're community driven. We're trying to support one another. Everybody, it seems like everybody follows each other and really embraces each other. And it's interesting. I've been mind blown. I'll see, you know, people I've communicated to, and then I'll see them like share pictures with each other, and I'm like, oh my god, this person knows this person, this person,
Oh,
and it's great.
yeah.
It's such a great thing. What do you got to say to everyone out there, people that are beginning their journeys, that are on their journeys right now? What do you got to say as far as just the support and the community that we're trying to celebrate right now?
I would say if you're just getting into the wine industry, or honestly, this goes for anybody getting into whatever industry, is just be yourself. Don't worry about the numbers, how many followers you have. Don't worry about how many likes you get. Don't worry about how many views are on your picture. Like, that is the irrelevant stuff, to be honest. Like, I have met and have gained more support from people I have never even met in person, including yourself, you know, that have support my content because they understand where I'm coming from. They understand what I'm trying to do. They see, in a nutshell, the phrase is, they see me. You know, they see what I'm doing, right? So I would just say, just be true to yourself. Think about why it is that you're doing what you're doing. What is your real reason why you're doing it? Are you looking for clout or fame or whatever? Is there a long-term goal? Like, are you really trying to create some sort of purpose? Is it for yourself? Because if it's for yourself, that's fine too, you know. But if it's for because, and let me just rephrase that. If it's for yourself, that is great, because a lot of times what you're doing for yourself is usually somebody else out there is going through the same thing, and they appreciate your content. And that's why my content, I feel like, resonates with a lot of people because I like to laugh. I like to cackle and like can't breathe laugh. Like I like those laughs.
Right.
I love positivity. I love something that's like a quote or something that's going to hit me like a ton of bricks, right? And I'll be honest, at first when I started Instagram, I was worried about the numbers and the algorithm and like why am I not at 10,000 yet and all of this, and I got so caught up in that I forgot what the
Right.
true I forgot my true meaning, right? I forgot what I was trying
Right.
to accomplish. And so once I got, I checked myself and realized like, what are you doing? It's not about that. I feel like I got way more support once I started being myself and saying,
Right.
being who I was and saying what I wanted to say. And, if I slipped up a curse word here and there, that's just who I am. Like if I came off quirky or weird or whatever, like that's who I am, and I still sometimes have anxiety when I get on lives, but the more and more I do them, the more and more I realize that people actually fall in love with who you are. Like people try to figure out when they're making Instagrams or their whatever their brand they're trying to create. They get so caught up in picking a certain topic and staying on that topic and niche, but they don't realize that you are the
Right.
topic. You are the niche. Like you are what
Yeah.
people come back to see. You're the one. No matter, you could be talking about crawfish or wine or whatever floats your boat, but there's so many people that are talking about the same thing, but they're coming back to see you because they like who you are. They like how you talk about it. They like how silly you are, weird you are, whatever. And I've just learned that over time that the more and more I stay true to myself, the more support and following I get because somebody likes it. And not everybody's going to like your cup. They're not going to be your cup of tea. You're not their cup of tea, but
Right.
that's fine. Just roll with it. Like,
Right.
it's not about the numbers. It's about what value are you creating for other people? What is it that you're putting out for other people? And I think Netta said it best. It's about building a great community, not the numbers. Absolutely. 100%. I
Absolutely.
agree with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Totally being true, being true, staying on that
Yeah.
path, and I consider, from the people that I've met, including yourself,
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider you acquaintances or people that I just know. I consider you friends,
Yeah.
people that I consider you as a friend. There's people that you consider friends, and it's a great community to be a part of,
Yeah.
and I appreciate you sharing your time with us, with me, and the viewers out there. Man, I wish we had so much more time. We got to do this again. We
Oh,
got to do this again.
100%.
Um,
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, we're doing it again.
yeah, and we got to talk about more Coco Loco if there's more flavors out
Yep.
there. Now you're going to get me on
Not
this Coco Loco trick.
Coco Loco. No, Four Loco.
Oh, four Loco. Oh my God, that's my dad brain.
You're thinking about Coco Loco, the stuff you put in coquito.
I was thinking like Coco Puffs.
Listen, Four Loco. You don't want
I'm
to mess with that
horrible.
stuff. This is a disclaimer. Do not do it. Do not.
No, but thank you so much for sharing your time and sharing your stories. I think there's so much that you have that a lot of people would love to hear more of. And don't forget, all of you, if you don't follow her now, you must follow DeShannon on her page. She does some amazing things and fun things, and that's what we need right now. We need this great spirit and celebration. Thank you so much. We got to do a cheers. Cheers to
Yes,
you.
of course.
Cheers to all the women this month. Cheers to all the powerful women. Take
Yes.
it all right there.
Yes, and Corey, I
And
just want to say thank you to you for doing this because doing lives and stuff and planning them out and getting guests is really tough. It's really hard, and I can relate to that, and I admire you for being so committed and creating such a space for people to do this because some of us are still in quarantine, some of us are still not going out, and so having these things
Right.
and having fun, like this is, to me, it's like conversation. It's like being at a dinner table right now and just having fun and talking and just and connecting with people. So I admire that and,
Right.
and inspired by that. And so please keep
Awesome.
doing this. I can't wait to do it again. And make sure you call me, let me know when we're gonna do it again, what we're talking about, and we'll be doing it.
We got it. We got to do it with the Four Lokos. Is that the correct name now? The Four Lokos?
That's what we should do next. We should just do a live with Four Lokos, like a throwback Four Lokos.
Sponsor it and everything. Wear hats, everything. I'd be all for it. I am there. I am there. But
yes.
Until next time, thank you so much. We'll do this again. Everybody, thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time. And don't forget, follow DeShannon and keep on following my page. We have such an amazing lineup for the rest of the week in celebration of Women's History Month. So many powerful women just like DeShannon sharing the screen with me. So thank you once again. And cheers to all of you.
Cheers. Take care.
Yeah. Woo, woo, woo.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you all who are supporting DeShannon and supporting me. This has been such an amazing journey right now, getting the support. If you want to join me in breaking bread, go ahead and message me in the box. I love to talk, sit with you, talk wine, beer, and spirits. This is what it's all about. It's about having a good time, drinking wine, drinking beer, drinking your favorite spirit, and just having fun. And don't forget to check out the pairing idea that I did today. I did the fresh lentil salad on a romaine leaf. You can see that segment prior on IG. That's recorded onto this page. But until next time, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe, stay well, keep your distance, wear that mask. Until then, cheers.